Good morning, class. Welcome to the online classes for physics of class 11th. We were going to the chapter that is the mechanical properties of the fluid. In that, we have seen that fluid is something that which can flow. We have seen the pressure that is exerted by the liquid and on the liquid also. And we have seen thrust that is exerted by the liquid, that is perpendicular force acting per unit area was considered as a thrust. Similarly, the liquid always applies a upthrust on any body which is get displaced in it or it get immersed on the liquid. Then whatever the body get immersed, the upthrust is always provided to that body. And after that, we have seen the hydraulic lift, hydraulic brakes, that is Pascal's laws applications. Okay, what we have seen in the Pascal's law, that the pressure applied on the liquid anywhere, it applies the same pressure on the body. So that is what the Pascal's law. So today we are going to see buoyancy, Archimedes principle of rotation. So this may you have gone through the chapter again, means this topics you may have gone through this in 9th also, and that chapter gravitation. After that, the second part is thrust, pressure, liquid fluids, Archimedes principle of rotation, all are given in that chapter, right? So what it is that when a body is immersed in a fluid, that fluid always exerts a pressure, and that too towards the whole face of the body, and it get displaces, means that what it will do, that it will provide an upthrust, and this upward force acting on the body, that on the body which is get immersed in the fluid, is called that upthrust, and that upthrust is being considered as the buoyancy, and acting it almost towards the center of the gravity itself. Okay, so that is what the buoyant force or an upthrust is similar to each other. Now if we talk about Archimedes principle, everyone is familiar with this principle, I think, because he thought and he said that whenever a body is get immersed in a liquid, like if you want to immerse, means if you are throwing it or you are forcefully you are immersing any object on it, that means whatever the object's weight will be, how much it is displacing the liquid, so the weight of the body, how much it is kept in the liquid, that much liquid's weight also, or a displaced weight of that liquid also be there the same. That means Archimedes principle tells us that whenever a body is immersed in a liquid, like partially or wholly, means completely immersed or a half part, similar to the weight of that body, there will be a upthrust acting on the center of the gravity towards the body, right? So equal volume of the liquid will also get displaced over there. So whatever the weight of the body will be, similar to that, the volume of the body will get, volume of the liquid will get displaced out. Okay, so here you can see an example, like if this is a body which is kept inside the force, we know that every force will be acting in the perpendicular to the surface, that is considered as a thrust, and the forces according to the Pascal's law, pressure applied by the body at every per unit area was considered as pressure. So everywhere pressure is almost same. Now what is that? If a pressure is given by, like how much the pressure will be force into area, but here you can see this area will be given as your x distance, how much it is less body, right? Upper face of the body will be taken as x, and the lower face will be x plus h, means how much distance it get displaced, or in the depth it how much it went, so it will be x plus h. And with that, if I talk about your force, that it is given as a rho, and if you talk about its volume into density, because mass is given as volume into density, so from there if we talk about, then it is h and height, so from there it came x. And thrust acting on the body will be pressure into area, and now only we told that pressure is x rho g, because whatever the body is displaced, means its height is h, how much it is immersed, but from the flotation, means the last level of the water, means the toppest surface of the liquid is with the distance x. So from there he told that whatever the resultant force acting on the body, that is upthrust, will be equal to that of the force acting on the top of the surface, and the downward force which is acting in the lowest part of the liquid. So both will be almost equal, means on the difference of that forces acting on the top and the bottom of the body's surface, liquid surface, will be equal to that of its values. On putting the value, like P1A, that is force is equals to P1 into A. For pressure, we know that we have kept it as x rho g, and if we talk about the height displaced, then it will be h, then x plus h rho g. So on putting this value, what we got, that is the change in the force is completely given as a upthrust. So upthrust is given as v rho g. Okay, and which is almost a mg, that is how much the body upthrust will be, which is equal to that of the weight of the liquid displaced, means the force acting on the body will be equal to that of the weight of the liquid displaced, and what this weight of the liquid displaced will be equal to that of the weight of the body get immersed. So above from this he came to know about the upthrust. Now if we talk about the apparent weight, means whatever the apparent weight means, how much the buoyant force acting on the body will be trying to make it immersed body will try to make it out of the water, right? So force will be acting in the upward direction on that body, and its weight is acting in the downward direction. So whatever the weights of the body will be when before immersing it, after immersion it will be equal to that of the upthrust, since it is making to try to move at top. So when it comes in the top direction, its apparent weight will be almost its actual weight, and the buoyant force will try to decrease the weight. So when we subtract or get the difference of it, we will be knowing about the apparent weight. Okay. Now what is law of flotation? What that means, law of flotation? Now only I told that whenever a body is immersed in the liquid, that means the liquid's pressure will be almost equal at every surface area, and the weight of the liquid will be acting in the downward direction, and similarly the upthrust will be acting in the upward direction. And we know that the weight given by the liquid will be equal to that of the weight of the liquid displaced by it. How much the water get displaced, that means that much the upthrust will be, and similarly the upthrust will be similar to that of the weight of the liquid displaced, and the weight of the liquid displaced will be equal to that of the weight of the body that get immersed in the liquid. So we know that if the density of this body, that means the weight of the body which are getting to be kept in the liquid, will be equal. If it is equal, that means it cannot be get totally sink and it cannot get totally float. So it will be on the last layer of the water, that means the top layer of the liquid, but does not get totally float. But if you talk about the density that is very less than that of the liquid, then it will get float. If the density is very high, that means it will sink out, totally sink. So law of flotation states that body will float in a liquid if the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body. It states that body will float in a liquid if the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the body is equal to or greater than the weight of the body. Okay, that means the weight displaced by the liquid should be, and weight displaced means upthrust should be almost less than that of the weight of the body displaced by it. Okay, so when our body is immersed in a fluid, it appears to suffer equal mass of the fluid get displaced, means whatever the mass of the body is immersed in the liquid, it will apply the same change in the weight of the liquid also. That is what the Archimedes principle was. And if we talk about flotation, means if a body get more density, it will get sink, and if a body is having less density, it will get float. So what we know about that in that Archimedes principle, what it told, there is an apparent weight also. I have told this apparent weight was, what about it, that whenever we are having a mass, like if you are having 20 kg mass, 5 kg mass, 10 kg mass, when you take this mass and immerse in a liquid, there is a change in the mass of the body, because upthrust is acting on the body, and what the upthrust value will be, it is the value how much it get immersed. So the upthrust will be trying to move it in the upward direction. If it is less density, then it will float, otherwise it will be sitting in the downward direction only, that means it will get sink. So from there, when he came to know about its weight, it was less than that of the 5 kg, means whatever its actual weight was, it become decreased than its actual weight and become an apparent. So this weight was considered as an apparent weight, and this apparent weight, like here you can say that its weight is now from a pointer, that when it was actuals was, it was on 5, and when taken to the apparent one, and when it is immersed in the liquid, it was taken as a 3. So 3 kg means how much is changed? There is a change of 2 kgs, and this is what the 2 kg means, upthrust acting on the body. So that much upthrust will be acting on the body. Similarly, our ships of buoyancy, we know that they should get displaced, and whatever the body means liquid will get displaced, so we float on the surface of the body. So we know that buoyancy force and that's the weight of the body will be acting in the downward direction. So density of boat is almost should be equal to that of the density of the liquid. If it is too less, means it will totally float also, and if we talk about too much high, then it will get sink. So this is for the condition where the density should be less than the liquid, but should not get totally float also. Now floating boat, here you can see that the boat is less dense than the water, so it get displaces a mass equal to its own instead of a sinking. So it will get displaced only the less one. So it has the sharp edge points in the downward direction, so that they can get displaced more. Okay. Now whatever the formulas we have seen, always remember that the weight of the liquid displaced or the weight of the immersed part body will be taken as V rho G. If we talk about apparent weight, it was the actual weight minus the weight of the liquid that get displaced. If you talk about the weight of the liquid that get displaced will be given as a V rho G, because whatever the weight of the liquid displaced is given as V rho G. And similarly, if we talk about putting the value of V as m upon rho, that is the mass upon density for volume, then if you take out the volumes means mg, if we take common, then it will get 1 minus rho dash upon rho. Similarly, relative density means when we are applying to take the ratios, or we can relate the densities of any substance to that of the density of the water, then it is considered as a relative density. So always remember, the relative density of water will be from starting point will be 4 degrees Celsius, because at 0 degree and at totally more than that of the 4 degrees Celsius, its properties changes because it differs. At 0 degrees Celsius, it will start becoming a solid, it's not a pure liquid also. So we are talking about fluid condition. So at 4 degrees Celsius it will be pure liquid. Now what is viscosity? So viscosity is something that acts as a friction acting in a solid. Friction, what it does, it used to relate, means whatever the relative motion will be, it will try to oppose that motion, right? So whatever the motion's direction will be, it will acting in the opposite direction and will try to stop also. So they try to oppose our motion, and this acts on the contact surfaces. We have already read that if surface is rough, then the friction will be more, so sliding, rolling frictions and all you may have read in the solid part. Similarly, in the fluid, this friction will be of the viscosity, but this viscosity is an internal force of friction between the layers of the liquid, because we know that different layers of the liquid, they get flowed with each other when parallel to that of the surface. Like if you are applying, like pipe water is just fall down and it kept flow, means open, then what will happen, that the liquid used to flow on the surface of the tiles. That means the tile is just a constant part. On the top of it, the liquid upward is moving. So what will happen, that you when kept your tap on, so it will flow, and on flowing the velocities with the layers of the liquid, this layers, it get decreased means whatever the lowest level will be, it will be very less, means now their velocities will be changing. Here you can see this one, that the adjacent layers of a motion of the liquid, so the arrows of the length, they are increasing, right? Surface layer is there, fixed surface is the downward direction, so the velocities downward will be with the fixed surface, so the velocity will be very less for the downward, because now it is at the stationary condition with the surface. But if we talk about it is moving, as it comes in the motion, the topest part of the layer of the liquid will move faster, so they will be having the highest velocity. And we know that this is a kind of a friction only which acts on the liquid. So different liquids have a different means its viscosity. So viscous liquid means what you can say, that there is some friction in between the layers of the water that is in the liquid. Like if we are opening the tap and the water is flowing very freely, that means its viscous is not at all there, because it is a negligible condition. So they are having a very low viscosity. Similarly, when you apply, like for an oil, there is somewhat means viscosity more than that of a liquid. And if you talk about more than that, so any thick juices you know about, then that it will have a more density. Similarly, honey, that's the highest you can say for any fluid, the highest viscosity is in honey itself. So we know that there is a resistance or the opposing force acting in the opposite direction to that of the relative motion is known as the viscosity, as similar to that of the friction in the solid condition. We know that the friction are acting in the liquids in different parts, but if you talk about pouring water, honey in separate funnels, and we know that water comes out as we just on the liquid on the taps, it come very fast. But while honey, what it does, it comes down drop by drop very. So this way honey is having a more viscous than that of the water. That means the relative motion between the honey will strongly oppose each other. That is what the viscous force is. And like when we swim in any kind of sources of liquids, then we experience some resistance of our motion, like something is trying to stop. That motion is a kind means opposing motion is said to be the viscous force on the liquid. So we can means fast in air but not in that much water. This is because layers of the liquid is having the different velocities, and due to which the upward liquid will have a highest velocity, so that is very easy to move. But as we go down, it will be very high to move on, because as we go down, it will be parallel to the surface, so the maximum means minimum velocity will be there. So what is this coefficient of viscosity? What this viscosity is depending upon? We already know that whatever the liquid will be, so what the change in the velocities, what is the height, what the density of the body we are using. So this all the viscosity which it will depend on. So it is already given that if we take the rate of the velocity, that rate of the change of the velocity while viscosity is there, means it is a viscous liquid, then we know that the change in the means change of the velocity with the distance in the direction of increasing distance. As we are trying to flow that liquid, there is a change, means increasing liquid's distance, so there is a change in the direction along with the distance, that's velocity change along with the distance in the direction of that increasing liquid. So that condition dv by dx, that is a velocity with respect to the distance, it is given as a velocity gradient. So we know that fixed surface is kept at the down, so area and the top will be having the highest density, that is v plus dv, and down the height is given as x plus dx, and the normal height it is taken as x and v. So what it is depending upon, so Newton is already given this coefficient of viscosity, that it is directly proportional to the area, because whatever the area will be, the viscous force will also be the highest one, because how much the layers of the liquid will be more wider, the viscous force should also be that much higher. Similarly, it will be proportional to the velocity gradient, that is how much the velocity of the liquid flowing. So along with the distance, its velocity also changes, so that it will be directly proportional to. So taking these two proportional equations together, it will be a dvx, and with that one coefficient come, that is eta. So eta is the coefficient of the liquid that depends on the nature of the liquid and gives us what the viscosity of the liquid on that layers of the earth. So it requires to maintain a unit velocity gradient also to become a good liquid. Similarly, negative sign, what it is showing, that it acts in the opposite direction, because every friction will be acting in the opposite direction. Okay. So remember this, that this coefficient of viscosity is important. Up to till this, if it is asked that what is the coefficient of viscosity, it will be this much, and if it is asked its unit and dimensions, you have to write this all things, because it will be almost at dv by dx it is given. So value of the coefficient of viscosity, because it was a dv by dx, force was, so if you take out eta's value, it will be f dx a dv will be in the downward, so in denominator. So taking its units and dimensions, you have to show in the exam, and its unit is called poise. Okay, it is given as poise. So this is what the friction similar to that of viscosity. So fluid's resistance to flow is considered as viscosity. Water, it has a lower viscosity because it flows very easily. If you talk about honey, it's having the higher velocity. Oils are in between, they are not that much easy also, not that much higher viscosity also. So what are the viscous and the solid frictions difference? That viscous force is directly proportional to that of the area, that how much the area wider will be, the viscous force will be directly proportional to its contact, that how much the area of the layers are in contact. Similarly, solid friction was not depending on the area of the surface in contact, but it depends on whether this object is there in the contact or not. It may be a smaller area or a wider area. Now it is directly proportional to that the relative motion or a relative velocity between the two liquid layers, because what is the velocity, that how much the velocity with which they are moving on the other surfaces is considered as a viscous force. If you talk about solid friction, it is independent of the relative velocity, because whatever the velocities will be does not depend between the two solid surfaces, but it depends that whatever your motion will be, it will just oppose that motion. Here it is independent of the normal reaction, here it depends on the normal, that means perpendicular directions force acting on it, it will depend on that part. Okay, so this is what the topics for today's class. In the next class we will be seeing some more topics. For this fluids, I will be trying to complete this in this week, so try to see the topics which I have told in this class also, but in the revision I will be giving you for both the chapters in the video. Okay. So thank you class. In the next class we will be seeing the further topics of this chapter.